It was just another summer gig, cleaning pools to make some extra cash. I'd been working in the nicer part of town, where the houses looked like they belonged in magazines. One of my weekly stops was at a sleek modern place with a perfect backyard, and an even more perfect woman named Claire. She opened the door the first time with a calm, poised smile. Maybe mid to late 30s, she carried herself like someone who knew the effect she had. I greeted her politely, told her I was just there for the pool. She said, "Of course, take your time," and walked back inside. But every week she lingered a little longer, brought out cold drinks, asked how hot it got doing what I did. Her compliments were subtle, like "you must work out a lot," while handing me lemonade. The ring on her finger was always there, but her husband wasn't. She mentioned him in passing, always traveling, never home. I kept it professional, but I noticed her. You'd have to be blind not to. The way she watched me made me feel noticed. As I packed up one day, she leaned against the doorframe and said with a knowing smile, "I bet you're good with your hands." The following weeks, things shifted. Claire wasn't just being friendly anymore, she was testing limits. Her outfits became noticeably shorter, looser, always just casual enough to pass but intentional enough to notice. She'd sit nearby, sipping wine in the middle of the day, asking questions that had nothing to do with pools. "Do you have a girlfriend?" she asked once, without looking up from her glass. I shrugged. "Not really." Her smirk was almost a challenge. One afternoon, she stood at the edge of the patio, towel wrapped around her. As I turned around, it slipped. She didn't rush to grab it. "Oops," she laughed, unbothered. I turned away, heart pounding. She picked it up slowly, looking right at me. "Sorry, I forgot you were there." Her voice grew bolder with each visit. "Ever feel like people settle for less than they deserve?" she asked, eyeing me carefully. "Some people stop trying to be exciting after they get what they want." I knew she meant her husband. The tension was thick now. Once, while handing me a bottle of water, her fingers lingered too long. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "Do you ever think about doing something you're not supposed to?" It was hotter than usual, and she called out, "You look like you're about to pass out. Come inside for a minute." I hesitated, then followed. She handed me a glass of water, sat down across from me, legs crossed, eyes locked. "You know, I wasn't always like this," she said quietly. "I used to be happy, but now I just feel invisible." I didn't know what to say. I wasn't expecting a confession. She leaned closer, voice softer. "You actually see me. That's rare." Her hand touched mine, gentle at first, then firm. I froze. My instincts screamed to back off, but something about the way she looked at me made it impossible. Then she kissed me. Slow. Sure. I pulled away, breath shaky. "This isn't right." She didn't blink. "But it doesn't feel wrong, does it?" I stopped thinking. Gave in. For a moment there was no job, no husband, no risk, just heat and want. When it was over, she smiled like nothing had changed. "Same time next week?" I nodded, still breathless, walking out into the sunlight. I wasn't proud, but I wasn't sorry either. Not yet. Something had shifted, and I knew it wouldn't stop there. The next week everything felt different. I showed up expecting something, maybe warmth, maybe tension, but she greeted me like it was any other day. No mention of what happened. No lingering looks. Just a casual "hey." It threw me off. I worked quietly, trying to read her, but she stayed cool and distant. It messed with my head. I didn't know if I'd crossed some invisible line, or if I'd just been a momentary distraction. As the weeks passed, the pattern repeated. Occasional flirty remarks, but no intimacy, no acknowledgement. One morning I arrived early and saw another guy, maybe a few years older than me, walking out of her front gate. He didn't look like a neighbor. Something clicked, and it wasn't jealousy, it was realization. I wasn't special. I wasn't the first, and I definitely wasn't the only. Later that day I asked